Mess Central.
I actually don't often post things and say, hey, this is for sale.
I know.
I post stuff
And that's what I
on
was trying to do, but
Latex Mess Central or whatever, and I post it. I'm not a huge fan of the ones who always post. Message me if you're interested.
New thing that you're in.
Yeah.
Like, I don't like that either. And yeah, I really don't like that either. But at the same time, I don't think people know that I would sell my stuff either.
So you post it, and then I'll get on right after that and say, how much is it? Do you sell them? How much are they? There you go.
Perfect. And then people will buy it just because Alan Hobbs is it.
We're live, by the way. You just let out our whole scheme. Hi, Stacy. Hi, Rachel. Hi, Ezekiel. Hello, Scott. Chance, good to see you on again. Thank you. Glad you enjoyed the makeup. Robert White, Spastic Pug. John C. Line Cook Thor. John Royski. Christopher Lazote. Lisa. Michelle. Jesse Papa Bear. Hey, you woke up today. You didn't sleep through this one. He commented on, I think it was last night's video, I fell asleep, and but now I'm watching it. It was like way later. It's very funny. Philip Earl, Stanley S., Tutwork Studios, L. Copeland, Stephen Scott, Kirk Mattia.
Hey, it's like you guys were waiting for us today.
Kim Beady-Eyed Brad Kennedy. Hello in Oklahoma. All right, now I'm going to set this up with the pop-out chat like we do. Boop, 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 boop. Well, I just booped. All right. You booped too far.
How dare I? How dare I overboop?
Yeah, just 2 boops, man.
Hi, gang.
I don't anticipate needing glasses today. I hurt myself today. It is notification time. I'm sorry I'm a little bit late. I got home from work 10 minutes ago. Hello in Chicago. 5 pets I have. Those are rookie numbers. You got to get those numbers up. Vicky, zombies at the zoo. Awesome. The shoot went very well.
It was fun. Bum, bum, bum.
Doobie doobie doo. It's a roo. There you go. Hee hee. All right.
No.
So today we're molding the hammerhead shark. Now, let me be honest with you. It's already 9 o'clock. We're molding half of the hammerhead shark.
No, we're molding the whole hammerhead
No, I don't want to be up until midnight. Okay, I'm going to be up until midnight. I don't want to be in here until midnight. Yeah, because the shark is one that it's going to take a little bit of figuring. I need the wire saw. I need that for sure. And then grab a box of clay. I want a fresh bag of clay so that we can start doing walls.
Yep. Fresh bag?
Fresh bag.
Okay.
Fresh bag and a fresh box.
Speaking of which, that box has corner chewed off of it. Do you want to rebag that clay before it all dries out?
It'll self-seal. It'll be fine. That clay's fine too, actually. If you want to use that clay over there. Okay. Yes, Amber did have white eyes today.
Yep. I have a pair of those, but they drive me nuts.
They're glad that you got the makeup out of your beard.
Oh yeah.
That's actually really easy to get out. The
It's
the
not
hair
bad.
mud. It looks good. It looks real grungy and stuff, but would you like to sweat through?
Couldn't aim at the can.
That's just dust. Dust is okay. All right. I'm prepping a surf for sharking. Want to debag the shark?
Okay, that's it.
Uh,
And clay.
No, the makeup that I did today at dark hour is not easy to wash off. It is alcohol based, so you have to use alcohol to take it off.
Yeah, it is not easy to wash off, yet I have good skin for removing it. Let's just put it that way. I'm a sweater, I'm greasy, I have very well hydrated skin. Comes right off.
We actually call him Greasy Roo.
It's funny because that's like one of my online
Greasy Roo?
things, is Greasy Roo.
Really?
Yeah.
I don't think I would call myself Greasy Alan.
That was more of a greaser, hot rod kind of thing.
Okay. Yeah, whatever you want to say. That's fine.
You know, because I do the cards and stuff.
The shark's name is Hammer Time. They named the shark Hammer Time.
I missed that one.
Yeah, your vote could have changed everything. It's Hammer Time. Because it's a hammerhead shark. I didn't even suggest that or nothing.
I like sledge.
Okay, so I'm going to put him kind of in the middle of the table.
Is that worse? He's kind of beefy.
Well, A, he's beefy, and I actually have to get him off of this rotating thing
Oh,
to mold. And
that's going to take two of us.
so I'm going to pick him up. Yeah, they crack a little bit if they stay too long. I'm going to pick him up, and then I'll set him down and just fix any damage. Get your hand under there. Okay. Perfect. Because you don't want it to be all spinny while you're molding.
What'd you do?
What? I pulled a little piece off of it. It was fuzz. Okay, that whole delicate operation, you saw none of it.
Oh. Whoops. Sorry, guys.
Does Greasy Roo still have a hot rod?
Greasy Roo does have two hot rods, actually.
He has 2 hot rods.
And 2 motorcycles. I have a 1951 Ford chop top lead sled, and I have a 77 Chevy pickup.
Apparently in Australia, Greasy Roo means something completely
I can imagine, Ezekiel. I can imagine. I did not move the sweeper, so sorry.
What you're saying is I just uncovered a square of dirt.
Yeah.
All right, if I put the camera here, then to look at the camera, I am looking at the comments.
Aha.
You are in timeout. Look at the wall. Look at the corner. Think about what you did. Okay.
Sorry.
So, yeah. So what do you guys think of the very different live stream this afternoon? Did any of you guys watch? I know some of you watched it. What do you guys think? I mean, that was a little weirder. And it was harder to get someone to watch comments. We had someone on the back side looking at the comments for the dark hour stuff, the Instagram and Facebook, but then my camera was front facing, and it was
So someone else had to be holding their camera watching the comments.
right.
Yeah, it was complicated. And not to mention the bars for the mounts holding the cameras went right over where the comments were, so you had to keep scrolling back and forth to read
Oh,
the
really?
comments.
Good. Yes, there is a merman in the background over there. Yes. And another one that I hope to work on this weekend, but I won't be able to do that unless I get everything molded that I have to get molded. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 things to mold. Tomorrow, Amber and Stacy are going to come over because they want to learn a little more about molding, and I'll probably go live some while I'm molding tomorrow with Amber and Stacy. That'll be in the daytime. That'll be in the daytime. So currently I'm just putting clay down here Well, as soon as I get to dark hour more, I can do more behind the scenes stuff there. But I'm not there a lot right now.
I liked it. I'm glad that I got out of work early tomorrow so I can watch it. Enjoy seeing how Dark Hour works behind the scenes.
In the UK, Andrew Smith. Well, Master Airbrush is an inexpensive brand from China, and they're actually not a bad airbrush. As far as compressor, I'm not familiar with the compressor brands that are over there, but if they're anything like over here, I mean, just about any compressor will do. Have a good moisture trap on it, and make sure it can do at least 90 psi. Like, you want it to be able to put out 90 psi. A small airbrush compressor, I'm not a fan of. I actually like a bigger shop air compressor. So, yeah, I'm not an amazing makeup artist, but I kind of get the job done. I'm okay for haunts. Would you tilt the camera down a little bit so they can see me caress the shark from behind here?
Don't say it like that, Alan.
Was it the word caress? Is that what it was? Or was it that my voice was muffled?
Caress it from behind, I think.
Because I was speaking into the shark's head.
Yeah, exactly.
I did remember that I'm molding the back of it first. So Rue, take this out and find a piece of 2 pieces of 3/4 inch wood from in there, over there, and you're going to put guides down on the table.
Nice line cuts.
Shannon's over at the house. She is going to she's going to come over and do comments here in a bit, because we're going to be pretty engulfed.
Slimy! Go ahead and move that one out of the way.
Yes, yeah. I'm not going to quote Nathan Fillion and say, the hammerhead is my mask. That's what I'll say.
Okay.
Not the bigger the better, okay? But it should be able to do 90 psi. Get one that'll do tools. Get one that'll do animatronics for you. Get one that'll do all the other things and run your airbrush. Don't get stuck in the mindset that it has to be an airbrush compressor. It does not. I have an airbrush compressor, but I never use it. It's under this table right here. It is dusty because I keep my airbrush hooked up to my big compressor.
I like the little pancake compressors.
Yeah, the pancakes are nice. The little 2-3 gallon pancake compressors, those are good. I got a little Campbell Hallsfield that I like. In there, I have a good sized rigid compressor. As soon as it dies, I'm going to buy one from Harbor Freight. Yes, yeah, get a quiet compressor depending upon your situation. It's not a bad idea. I'll be getting a quiet compressor here shortly. There are a couple things in Mr. Hops' life that he has to take care of. You know, I get serious when I speak in third person. Animatronics are big, man. If you do home haunt stuff, you know, having an understanding of animatronics and air systems, it's just a good idea. That's the next level, is getting your stuff animated. Mostly what I do on my channel is smaller things that are static, but motors and animations, heck yeah. I might do a video down the road on some animated bucket buddies. I think a lot of folks like that video and they like the idea of showing some animations for them, so I will. Hey, it's Hallstaff. Yes. Hi, I'm glad you're on. I should probably tell you that I mentioned you in my last video on the Bucket Buddy video. I did some, I mentioned you on that. And I actually put your channel, if you go to my channel on YouTube, I put your channel as a featured channel. Right now it's You and Distortions are featured channels on my channel. So you cover a wonderful information gap and you handle it beautifully in haunting. I'm kind of filling in one information gap and you are filling in the other. Maybe we'll do a combo video. But yeah, Hallstaff right there, he actually has an excellent video on motors and motor animations. And the Bucket Buddies, I don't know if you've seen that video, but the Bucket Buddies that I did are, they are ready for, they are ready to be animated with motors. They're plastic, they have, the platforms, it's easy mounting. I just think that's an easy way to go with them. Okay.
I really only found one good piece, but I have a new toy that I want to play.
Okay. I am going to grab a good brush. Okay. Do check out Hallstaff's channel. It is really good. Good info.
Yeah.
Much more on the technological end, the animation end, but really good content. Thank you, Scott, for posting that link for us. Rue,
What?
you're going to try to cut the clay with a Japanese
No.
cross-cut saw? You're going to cut the wood.
I'm gonna cut wood.
Show them your new toy.
I got a Japanese pull saw.
Yeah.
These are awesome. They cut on the pull stroke instead of the push stroke. Like
Yes.
ours all.
Yeah, if you're technical minded and what I do frustrates you, you'll really love Scott's channel. Now, this has been sitting for a little while, so I'm just reapplying a brush texture to him. I'm going to get a bigger brush. Look, a brush.
Very much not used to this.
It cuts on both.
It cuts on the pull instead of the push.
It never made sense to me why it cut on the push. Like, that doesn't make any sense to me.
Yeah. But I've always cut on the push for so long that doing it the other way is really weird now. And now,
All I am doing is kind of doing a little fixed texture on this guy. So all the stuff that I just put on has a texture to it. I don't want anything to look untouched or unfinished.
don't
Yeah.
let me forget that.
Okay. Sweet, I got a new saw.
Well, you know my tendencies.
Yeah. You got about a 30% chance of getting that out of the door.
I should go on that side. Cut this.
Why's that?
Harder than I'm going. Well, I just didn't want to be like weirdly like blocking the camera.
I'm going to grab a wire cutter so that we can cut effectively. No problem. I will gladly promote anybody who is doing good haunted house content. And I think that what Scott is doing is going to directly make haunted houses better. Home haunts, pro haunts, all of it.
you there's another one somewhere.
Okay. What do you need?
They don't move.
Grabbing my tools I use for mold wall building. Thanks, big dog. Going for a beer and a steak. That sounds awesome. I could use a beer and a steak.
You don't drink beer.
I could use 2 steaks then. You can have my beer, I'll have your steak. Fair.
Okay, I want just another bit of this.
There it is. Oh, Bigfoot's got to move.
All right, I have my little wire straight and ready to go. It was curved for picking out clay. Now it is straight for cutting clay. I'm going to run the clay wall right here and just do it. I mean, that's going to give me a pretty shallow face in order to demold. I should be able to come right in behind the gills with the mold wall. So, should be good. There's always a market for eyes, Chad. There's always a market for eyes. No,
Oh, you want the long ones.
I need them long ones.
Okay.
This is how you cut clay for mold walls.
Okay.
He has 2 boards down, one on each side of the clay, and those are just guides so that he's going to give me an even thickness each way. Put that right down there. I'll take this along.
Take it away.
And this one is like already cut in half.
You know what? That's from when I opened the bag.
Oh,
I ran my knife down it.
you should possibly be more careful.
For the clay that you usually pull out by handfuls.
Yeah. He is not sculpting. He is helping me mold the hammerhead. This is a big boy, and we're going to work on him together to get him done. I will turn down my notifications. I bet that was really loud. We have not yet painted a murder hornet. I have... yeah, I haven't done that yet. That should have silenced my phone. Okay. Okay, I just moved you guys back a little bit, so you should be able to see a little more of what's going on. This is clay that I just cut. Can you guys hear me? I'm just making sure. Edson say he can't hear me. Can you hear what I'm saying, Edson? Rodney can. Scott can. Okay. I'm glad that watching the channel inspires you. That is literally why I say go make stuff at the end of every video. I really want you to go make stuff. That was not a joke that translated very well, Edson. I'm not saying it wasn't a funny joke. I'm just saying it wasn't a good joke. Okay.
We're kind of notorious for those in the shop anyway.
Not funny jokes?
Not funny jokes, or no, funny jokes that are bad.
Okay.
You said it was a. Didn't say it was a.
Oh, from the notifications. I got it now. That's why I tried to fix it. This is going to be a big mold. That is very true. You are correct, sir. Yes, yes, Paul, I understand that it's normal for you not to hear us. He said
That's funny.
He said it. Yeah, it's Rob's fault that your joke wasn't funny. Exactly. You get it. Hey, Masato, good to see you on, sir. Boink. Now I must go to my Q-tips.
Big dog, I knew you were going to say that, Paul. Edson, you were our friend, not our funny friend.
That's funny.
How heavy a mold, you guess?
This will probably be a 100-pound mold. It's between 70 and 100. Again, I'm going to go as thin as I can, but that's not that thin.
Alright.
Yeah, go ahead. You're fine. Yeah, it's going to be heavy. Heavier than my kids. Have fun moving that around. Yeah, well. There are times when I'm like, man, I shouldn't make molds. I should make beach balls or something light. So that works. You weigh 130. We'll buy you a cheeseburger, man.
Those are rookie numbers. You gotta get those up.
Yeah, those are rookie numbers. How dare you be fit?
How big squares you are chunks you want this?
Just do them in half.
Okay.
And as few fingerprints on it as possible.
Alright.
I once dropped a mold on my pinky toe, and it shaved all the skin off of the outside of the pinky toe, and you could see bone. That was when I came up with the pirate character name of Nine-Toed Pete.
So something funny yet not funny. Hi Gary, by the way. Sometimes you watch this, and I'm sorry, it's terrible, but I got a chuckle about it. So my buddy that plays a pirate quite regularly Just lost his leg. So-
Awesome. What opportunity. So I have a thing, all right? Whenever someone tells me bad news, except when someone dies. That's the only time when I won't do this. I will always say, "That's awesome. That's great." Because that's not the reaction that they were expecting, and then I'm going to find something positive in it.
Yep.
You know, because every time they have to tell somebody, they get the same thing back.
Yeah.
And I just want to change the energy that's going to that person.
And that's kind of like how I feel about it with Gary. Like, he's a great guy and plays an excellent pirate. Well,
What opportunity?
now he's gonna play an even better pirate.
Yeah, no kidding.
A very, very peg leg. But yeah, he's a big old guy. He's got diabetes and lost his foot, and it never quite healed, or lost his toes.
Yeah.
And that crept into, I think, losing half of his foot, and then now it's slid into. Well, now the leg's gotta go. So hopefully it stops there.
He will be an excellent pirate.
Yep.
I have faith. Hello, body geeks. Yeah, it wasn't so much degloved as sheared off, which was very interesting. And it mostly fixed itself after about a year. It took a long time.
Hi, Boris. You out by yourself?
That may be the precursor to Shannon coming in.
Yep.
It is. Hello, wife.
Hello.
Quick, Rue, hide the beers and the dancing girls. The wife is here.
It's more like hide the monsters and the sodas.
From an alligator. Wow. That's a good one.
What's this beast?
That is my new toy. That is a Japanese soft. They're really neat. They cut on the pull stroke instead of the push stroke.
We keep the dancing girls right behind the camera so you guys don't see them.
Ever.
Or the beers. Yeah. Occasionally we have dancing boys when Stacy's here.
How goes
She likes
the
both.
stuff, the work?
Good. I'm working on the shark's wall, and we're there. We're getting there.
Slabs. Should have prepped over. Set them over there.
So I use this to scribe a line, and then I use this to cut my clay, so I can get a very precise line, and then it should just kind of set in place up here on top.
There's an echo in here.
What? What?
Okay, where did you, the last we left our
I was going
heroes?
to say that's rude, not right. Hi, Shannon. Check out the in-progress address over there.
She wants you to check out the in-progress headdress behind you.
Ooh,
Shannon said, "Ooh."
Where do you hide the monsters? Is that where it's going up there?
nice.
I hide them in the fridge.
You kind of got a Ming the Merciless Widow's peak going on this one, Stacy. I love him. That's awesome. Okay. Where did you say you stopped? Did you get, I've enlisted to,
Huh?
Beer Dancing Girls? You did that, okay.
Yes, I think I'm caught up. If I'm not caught up, then you guys just type it again, because I missed it. And I cannot be trusted. Oh, Nothing. All right, so what I am doing is I'm trying to make sure that this mold wall is nice and flat on this side. It's got to go all the way down. It's got to touch the sculpture. It's got to meet the sculpture at a 90-degree angle. All those things.
I thought you were serious.
On this side. Oh, this side has to be nice and smooth.
Oh.
Yes, your fingerprints do matter. They do. They really do.
Well, you're picking it all up over here. I can't see the other side. So
Yeah,
I'm
on
wrong.
this side, I'm mashing it down so it stays on the shark.
Things I've never worked.
This side, I want nice and smooth. Bless you, wife.
You can't aim those.
No, this is all random. You can't aim these. That's really difficult. That would take a level of skill I do not have.
At least that
Funny
didn't land on my
says-
hat.
Body Geek says no response today on the property owners.
Ah, that stinks.
Does Rue get a paint by members Hornet?
If Rue wants to paint a hornet, I'll let Rue paint a hornet.
Who don't need no paint by numbers. Yes. Very much. Have to paint. Not today.
So what I am doing is I am going in and I am smoothing out the wall. I need the wall to be pretty much at a really good 90-degree angle to the surface of the sculpture. And I'm having to work to keep all of Rue's fingerprints out of it. What did I do? 8 makeups today? Something like that.
Around that.
She gave me a really long time for each makeup.
1, 2, 3. Yeah, 8 meters.
I had to kind of tap dance in between makeups.
I just watched Alan finish Rue's makeup from an earlier video. Time warp. Rue makes the plaster, it will be more like 4 a.m. This is 1980. Who said that? That's not right.
They may be implying that you take a little while to mix plaster.
Rue took umbrage to that.
I think it was your tapping method.
Just for that, I'm going to keep using the tapping method 1980. Get it right next to the camera, too, when I do it.
I think we only like finished doing makeup and stuff a couple hours ago. Pretty much, I left there and I came right here and started working on this. Yeah.
Industrial air scrubber comment in 3, 2, 1.
I do have one of those. I love those things.
Two.
And Rue changed the filters out today. They're even more effective when you change out the filters.
Well, the inner filters probably use the change pretty soon.
That inner filter? Read the manuals on those. does that work?
I don't know.
Scrape that with your finger and see if it's our fuzz.
It kind of is.
Or is that just what it's made of?
No, it's definitely white and cottony in spots
Oh.
like this.
Oh. Let's put that back on. We don't need to see it.
We don't need to see that.
Why does Ellen not have a scary face mask for public meetings?
I don't know. It's weird everybody wanting to wear masks all the time now. That was kind of my thing. I'm still like shocked. It's like, I'm a mask guy. What are you guys doing? It was very weird today because I had to stop and mask up before I went into a liquor store, and that was just awkward. You know what I mean? It's
let me
like,
put on a mask before
yeah,
I
you
go in the
want
liquor
me to
store.
put on a mask. Last time I did this, didn't end as well.
Didn't go quite as well.
So,
Edison, 1986, symptoms.
oh yes, but it's Hammer Time. Hammer Time was the official.
Still causing a stench.
Robert White says it's fun going into a bank in a mask. You can walk into your bank, mine's still closed. Drive-through only. Buddy Geeks, only time wearing a mask in the banks is considered perfectly acceptable practice.
I'm waiting for the first robbery. Like, I'm waiting for the first COVID-19 robbery where they went in wearing masks like everybody else, and then they pulled out their guns.
Put a bandit mask on to go into a liquor store, asks Ezekiel.
I did. Yes, I did. I had to make a stop for something. I did not buy myself any booze, for the record. Not saying I didn't buy booze, but you know, didn't buy any for me.
How you doing, Shannon?
I just drive the bus. I don't put anybody under it. But yeah, so I stopped by there on my way from work, and they required me to put on a mask before I went in. Luckily, I had one on already.
Wow. They did that.
Lisa says
Home
we have a
Depot
guy
a while
dressed
ago.
like Grim Reaper hanging out at Costco.
Well, that's interesting. Everybody needs a hobby.
Amy Reed. Edson says, last time I forgot my mask, I walked in and freaked a little even when I eat a little okay, which does. Last time I forgot my mask, I walked in and freaked a little bit, but wait, who am I back?
Yeah.
Hello, Horror Beauty. Is the mask for the aquatic theme for dark hours? This mask that you're making?
Yes, there's a reason why I've been making all these shark masks and fish masks and things. It's for dark hours theme. Yes.
Robert Ryan says Mama drinks. Mama?
That's you.
Not a mother.
You're a dog mama.
You are very much a motherly figure for this show. Because Alan is sure a child.
Hey. I'm not.
R2. Oh wait, hold on. What does that make me?
Exactly. You sell the same mask, you use a dark hour for the same season? I thought you waited a season.
Well, I wait a season to sell the ones that Dark Hour already used. But if I make it here in my shop and Dark Hour, and we need it for Dark Hour, well then it's my mask. I just make them copies. So yeah. Did I answer your question? I don't even know.
Inquiring minds.
Last trip to the States, I went to look for a friend as a gift. The store clerk asked me if the friend was a good friend or a mediocre friend.
And then they directed you to completely different stacks of tequila, didn't they?
Yep.
The Big Dog says, Alan, I'm going to foam your mask tomorrow after work.
Awesome.
All the airbrush work this afternoon was awesome.
Thanks.
That's what Jason posted.
Should only be two, right?
I like doing makeup. It's something that I learned how to do in order to be a better haunter.
Yeah.
It's it's when you look at the process of haunting, where are the gaps? What is the slowdown in the process for getting ready? It's always makeup. So I do a lot of what I do makeup wise to speed up the process or to apply my way of thinking of doing something differently to the process of makeup.
There are a lot of people that, that do makeup, but not a lot of people that can do haunt makeup, which means
Speed.
doing it fast.
Speed is king.
Fast, fast, fast.
I can have a wonderful guest makeup artist at dark hour, and they do 2 really good makeups. And, they do 2 A makeups. And I've churned out 22 BC makeups. That's just what you need in haunting. And if you guys are interested in airbrush makeup, Boston Pettit has a YouTube channel. Check out Boston's YouTube channel. He does a lot. He does more makeup stuff than I do. Just because, I don't have a need all the time for makeup. Oh, did you sneak off and watch the video? Aren't they easy? It's a super simple way to make little monsters.
Ezekiel says, have a great evening, guys. I have 42 beers and a giant Flintstone-sized steak calling me. It's been a while.
Heck yeah.
Goodness.
42 beers.
He's an Aussie. And
No,
Yay,
It's just backwards there. He really wrote 2 to 4 beers.
oh my God.
He's going to have 2 to 4 beers. That's all.
He is superhuman.
Trying to cover for you, Ezekiel.
Woo. I hear that.
I swear, Ezekiel, some night we're gonna have a night. I'm just gonna say that.
What are
I
you
will
gonna-
referee from the sideline.
What are you gonna have?
A night.
Oh no. Okay, just make sure that make sure you're not on stilts in the booth the next day.
Oh no. No.
I got this visual of
Oh.
the first of Raiders of the Lost Ark where Karen Allen is drinking the big guy at the bar under the table, but I don't know which one of you is which. Because that man is
Yeah.
I'm glad you enjoyed them. I like doing airbrush makeup. I mean, I like doing it. I don't do a ton of videos on it, but it's necessary for haunting.
Not to go on a tangent about drinking, but in Germany, it was funny because the Germans are all, Americans can't drink, and it was always, my buddies and I, at the end of the night there, they'll drink and they'll drink real fast and they'll drink a lot, but they'll quit.
They're smart enough to stop.
Way
Is what you're
before
saying.
you.
Oh, great.
Also said no, it's 42 full strength Aussie beers.
Huh.
Rodney Pope, I enjoyed the airbrush makeup lives today.
Our
Thank you, Scott.
okay. Well, thank you. Yes, our next what do they call the thing where they get money? What do they call that on YouTube?
Super.
Oh yeah, our next super chat is going to be to get Ezekiel a new liver. So that'll be our next one. Don't do anything crazy. We're illegal. And it's kind of weird because right now I'm cutting the clay wall.
Rodney Pope asked how many liver runs these days.
Do you want a black market liver or an actual liver?
Are we talking about good liver? Half
so-
price liver?
Grab the pledge and hit the pledge on the front of the shark, please.
Now you got a little bit of cracking on the front of him. Do we want to touch that up?
We'll pledge him first, and we'll touch it up. But either way, I'm pretty sure that I could get my big laser cutter before we could buy a liver.
Robert White says new liver is a little higher than a quiet compressor.
Yes, that's true.
Ezekiel says, I'll donate it straight back. Buy Paul another green shirt for his missus. Hi, Michelle. She says, okay, I just popped in. Other than the new liver, what did I miss?
We're making a shark. We're molding a shark. Molding is making.
Holding is making.
Thanks for coating my hand in pledge, jerk face. Oh, waxy now.
You know you're owed that.
Yeah. That's why I didn't even complain. Let's just spray me.
I've been hit by hundreds of Q-tip tips now.
Alan needs a little pledge.
I got well pledged.
Ronnie says, yes, let's get Paul another green shirt. Do you know when the pictures from today will be up on Instagram?
I do not. So I am very passionate that I need to be involved in making the images for Dark Hour, but I'm far less passionate about putting them up on the internet. Which you might not think would be the case with all of the interneting that I do, but I let fear.
I'm kind of screamed.
Lemon pledge doesn't taste half bad, by the way.
Oh my god, that was direct too.
Yeah, just like.
That was good.
Yeah, so I will. We have a company named Fearworm who does our social media, and so we got together today. Laura works with Fearworm. Yes, she used to work with us at Dark Hour, but now she works at Fearworm. We got together, and I did the makeups, and we took pictures in Dark Hour. So all the pictures we post will truly represent our show, because you're going to see our quality of makeup and our quality of set. What am I saying? Oh yeah. Then Fearworm takes those pictures, and they're going to build social media posts that they're going to put up on a program called Hey Orca, that I actually, then I go in and I approve them, or I say, I don't really want that message to go out for us, so let's alter that. Sometimes I might have issue with wording or whatever, but that's just because I very much want to control the brand of Dark Hour.
Do you shut patrons down that have been drinking too much before going into the show?
Only if they're a problem. If they've been drinking and are having a good time, then normally no. But if they've been drinking and they're angry or sad or whatever, then yes.
I'm always trying to live longer by pickling my liver, spleen, and stomach with bourbon, says Big Mom.
I knew who that was as soon as you said bourbon. So you brought these dogs over here so they could sleep, huh? They just came over and boom, they went right out.
They had an afternoon of ripping and roaring. This was a matter of time. Before you shake them, wake them up.
I need a wire loop tool. A medium-sized loop. Could be salt serrated, it could be twisted wire, it doesn't matter.
80 people are watching.
80 people are watching me mold a shark.
Watching.
Too big. Too big. That's going to be for the keys
Aha.
that go around the outside of this wall.
Hello, Joanne Crowley.
Joanne Crowley. Probably heard that before.
I'm helping.
Work on. You have an angle on it, but I don't.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'll fix that angle. This could go because there's nothing in there to stop me.
Mm-hmm.
Is it wrong that I know how many fifths there are in a full cask of bourbon? 144 average.
It may be wrong.
Live your life, big dog. Steve Scott, not watching but listening to you. Watching the move a few played by remote control. Here comes Humphrey.
There's actually food in this fridge, and I'm kind of concerned.
Shannon says it's not for you. And don't get excited.
And why is this in the freezer?
That
Because
is for you.
okay, so that Gorilla Glue clear adhesive is in there because if it's room temperature, its drool is too runny. You put it in the fridge and you keep it in your fridge, and then it drips at a slower rate, and it's perfect.
Thanks for finding.
You just like it at night because those TREATs are in there.
Okay, so I am working on the sharp. See how easy that lines up, Rue? Not a problem.
Oh,
Hello, Dan McCorson.
It's Dan! Dan, tomorrow I'm going to finish Karen, and once I finish Farmer's Wife Karen, I'm going to actually immediately start on the Farmer. So you are rapidly approaching in the queue of getting done.
Graffy in UK says, morning guys. I wonder if that young girl got all of their paint out of her hair that Alan sprayed it on today.
Listen, she probably did.
problem.
In the privacy of her own home with some shampoo and lots of curse words. Directed at me. Fixing cracks?
Yep.
Okay.
Jerry, I don't think he does. Jerry Collins says, do you call Budweiser beer horse pee?
Do I? I don't call it any I don't drink. Like, I'm not an alcoholic beverage guy. It's very rare that I drink something. I'm not saying it never happens, but you're much more likely to see me have a White Russian or a Colorado mud slide bulldog.
Yeah.
A mud dog
Why
slide.
didn't you ask him to not
A
put
Russian
the alcohol in it?
Colorado mountain.
Sometimes I drink a mud dog slide. Mud slide.
But you asked him to take the alcohol out.
Yes, I
So
want.
basically you have a milkshake.
I want a milkshake. That's what I want.
That's what you want.
Yeah, I'm just not a big drinker. I think I don't trust my brain on alcohol.
And although we talk about it a lot, neither am I.
I just don't think you like
I
it.
have like 2 beers a month,
You just don't apply yourself, real.
except for like once every 6 months. I'll sit down and have quite a few beers all in a row.
I just don't think you like the flavor.
By himself while listening to Willie Nelson. Wearing orange pants.
El Copeland says, Karen's always
You were
holding
videoing
things
that,
up.
right?
Typical Karen.
That's right, they are holding things up.
Dan says he's excited to see the finished product.
Me too, me too. I can't act. I'm very excited to make those two and do them as a couple and really see that out. I like the 1800s backstory, so it's nice. Now, getting this underhang is going to be not fun. I ain't going to lie.
Are you doing the back first or front?
You always do the back first
Why?
because there's less detail, and I don't want to fight gravity on the front. I'd rather fight gravity on the back, where if I do get an air bubble on the back, I can fix it, and it's still a usable mold.
Just thought that was a live question.
Yes.
Big Dog says, I pulled a rod today, spilled latex, but not a rod.
Well, then you didn't pull a full rod. You pulled a partial rod.
To be fair, everybody's done it once.
Never.
Oh, tell you what though, after picking up that 5-gallon bucket of latex from Biddy,
Huh?
that 3-hour drive home with that 5-gallon bucket of latex in the back of my brand new Cadillac.
Oh, were you nervous? Driving the whole way like you had a pizza in the car?
Just don't tip over. Don't tip over.
Rude, no more red eyes?
No, no more red eyes.
Have red eyes, Rude?
I had red contacts in for that.
What's
Makeup
Rude doing
shoot.
under the jaw?
I am
Had $1 every time I was asked that question.
I am touching up some hairline cracks from the sculpt drying out a little bit. Just blending them away.
How many masks do you have in the old cuties?
Well, they're not all finished, but I have 2 masks that are finished and ready to mold. This is one, and Web Store is one. So Web Store is going to get molded tomorrow, and I'm going to quickly finish up the Warthog. It's going to be really ready to mold because he was almost done with that. And then next I'll be able to finish up Karen. I have some polishing to do on Karen, and then she'll be molded. So, and the thing also needs polishing, but I think it needs the most of all of them. There's a common phrase here in the States, dazzle you with BS. That is a sculpture that people will think it's better than it is because it has lots of areas of different details. It is a sculpture that is dazzling you with BS. But I actually need to fundamentally make it a decent sculpture as well, or else I won't be happy with myself.
Raffle them with BS.
Yeah.
You still got a really good hole underneath this one, by the way. Oh, like I could stick a whole
Yeah.
brush inside of that.
I'll fix that.
People are watching.
83 people.
Hello, 83 people.
They're watching us play with mud. Yeah, you got to get all the way underneath sometimes to see some of this. And Rue just pointed out an area that I thought I had covered and I did not. Here's so I can tell you sweat.
You can roll. Yeah.
Good night, big dog.
Good night, big dog. Nice to see ya.
Good night, Tom Boy.
Good night, Marianne. Totally just showed her age.
No, because I learned about that from someone else. I never actually saw it in
You
person.
never watched the Waltons?
No, like what year did they end? Alexa, what year did the Waltons go off of TV?
Sorry, I don't know that.
Alexa, when was the TV show The Waltons on?
Here's something I found on Wikipedia. The Waltons is an American television series created by Earl Hamner Jr., based on his book Spencer's Mountain and a 1963 film of the same name, about a family in rural Virginia during the Great Depression and World War II.
That was all the information except for exactly what I wanted. Well done.
Scott McDonald says my wife Agatha is trying to convince me to get a puppy. She found one, the breed she wants in Texas. She's trying to bribe me by saying we stop and see Ellen. We'll be in Texas. Where in Texas, Scott?
I think you should get a puppy.
Yeah.
You can just get the
Yeah.
puppy.
Yeah, you're
If
talking
you're
to the
coming
wrong
to Texas,
person.
you can definitely come here. You know,
Yeah.
El Paso.
Yeah.
It's right
It
there.
doesn't mean anything. We're in Texas.
Like.
Depending upon the moment, I might give you one of my puppies. They bad. You dogs is bad. All right, so I now have. See, now it's time to mix plaster, and Rue is playing on his phone.
I'm looking up the Waltons thing because it's gonna
Joanne
bother
Crowley
me.
says this looks like a surgical team. Final episode was June 4th, 1980.
81. Yeah. See, I don't have any conscious knowledge of watching that.
Geek says, I'm in the living room working.
I
And
don't
giving
either,
everyone that is asleep in the
but
house
still watching
Walton's
reruns.
history lessons. You're gonna get me in trouble.
Sorry.
Dan Corson says, working on a snake oil salesman costume next week. He's one of my main characters in my backstory. I need to build his wagon also.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah.
Ooh, I want the wagon.
Is he going to have a? Will he be a masked character or a makeup character?
I want to build a Bardo so bad.
Yeah, I also want to build a Bardo.
Yeah.
Like I have plans for Bardos.
Yeah. I like planned out like a really super fancy one with like fold down sides that you could like raise the tent up higher. Yeah. It was pretty bad.
Okay.
Good night, Edson. Good night, Jerry.
Good night, Jerry. All right, so I'm happy with my sculpture. The back of it is fine. I'm happy with it. I got to get myself some. Would you start mixing plaster? I'm going to Vaseline the table down here where I need to, and this brush will work. Just clean
Dan
it up.
says, makeup, he will interact with the crowd.
Awesome.
1980 says that he always wanted to see a fight between the Waltons and the Eagles.
Who are the Ingalls?
Little House on the
Yeah.
Prairie.
Oh,
Oh,
I never watched that either.
Paul Stuff's
is it-
animatronic workshop. Boy,
His name is Scott.
I have not had a lot of sleep.
Just say Scott.
Woo! Are conditions in Texas doing well enough that the Texas Farmers Convention will go forward as planned?
I do not know. I don't know. Right now, there is no. There is
I'll step
Steve. Steve. There is no plans to cancel. How's that sound?
yeah.
There are no plans to cancel. They are going full steam ahead. That much I know. Like very full steam ahead. And no one has told them they have to stop. So there is that. It may be the only convention that gets off this year.
I hope it happens. Are you planning on going?
Still Peace will have a booth. It's a no-brainer.
You can sleep in your own bed.
I sleep in my own bed. It is a no-brainer.
And I will have a booth directly across from you again.
Oh, Mark, do you?
Mm-hmm. Well, sort of. Andy does.
1980 says Charles Eagle saying goodnight, John Boyd. He knocks him out, 80s flick style.
Yeah.
1980.
I'll just keep it straight. I was going to thin my Vaseline, but
Not bringing as many big guys as I did last year.
no.
Turned out they didn't do so much. Might be one or two though. There's still some small gaps here.
Only on your side. My side is smooth.
Like all the way through.
But the plaster will be so thick it won't do that.
Dan Corson
Thank
says,
you.
I did a YouTube Wednesday on how to build the kerosene stage lanterns, LED versions.
Okay. I can probably swing something on that. Just 2 fingers of water. Would you move the camera so that they can see you mix? I have to run to the house real quick. Hey, wife, why don't you tell a story? Story time.
What was the story you told the other day?
No.
Subject. What subject? Oh, let's see.
Here comes the wife.
Okay,
What
get your back brace, hurry up.
There's a question for me. Hold on.
Get to it.
I sell. I
Yeah.
do a lot of props and figures and stuff like that. I recently posted. I did a Necronomicon cover. I do some masks, not a lot. I don't like to try and compete with Alan. I also, what I really like to do, I do large corpse body gargoyles, like darn near full size. I did it was about a 5.5 foot tall one with 6 foot wingspan that I brought last year. He's lots of fun.
Are you bringing more of those?
I will probably have 2 of them.
Okay.
That would be great. But otherwise, I'm going to go with smaller stuff. Some more like book covers and small latex items.
And you're gonna have a booth right across from us, same
Yes.
place as last year.
Yep.
So guys, if you
And
guys,
there will be clothing also. Haunter style clothing.
Yeah, Andy is a really good seamstress, and she's going to have some fun Haunters clothes. She does kind of a vintage look, a lot with rockabilly, fun
Yeah, like
stuff, and bowler style shirts,
Bowling shirts,
all in
hoop skirts.
in Halloween
Or
fabric.
not hoop skirts.
Poodle skirts, yeah,
Poodle skirts.
but
circle
this
skirts.
vintage circle skirts.
That is way too much. What am I doing?
So that's actually going to be really cool. So what Alan was saying, and I forget who it was asking about THC, is that with the exception of this year, because I really can't count this year, but as a rule, we don't, we travel outside of Texas for trade shows or conventions, which, two very different things, but we do both. And for there to be a convention that allows us to sleep in our own bed is kind of makes you giddy, because we just don't get to do that. And otherwise, you're traveling sometimes, for days to get to where we need to go. So that's going to be pretty cool. And hopefully some of you guys come out and say hello and support the vendors. This is
I
wicked.
can imagine it's going to be a pretty big turnout.
Well, I'm wishing them luck. Like everybody else, I think right now we're all just watching to see how things culminate. And back to you, Alan.
Okay.
Whoever made the crack about Rue taking a while to mix plaster, I expected it would be mixed and ready.
I
Yeah.
was talking about. I probably started asking questions.
Where'd you go? Where'd you go? Where'd you go? Rodney says that he'll be wearing his green shirt. You will stand out beautifully on a sea floor of black shirts and hoodies.
Funny story about that. So I have a lot of friends that are tattoo artists. Big shocker, right?
Yeah.
But my buddy was telling me about how they make their shops tattoo, their shops shirts different color because every time they go to the tattoo conventions, it's a black t-shirt convention.
Right.
And I laughed at him. I said, no. You want to see a black t-shirt convention? Come to our conventions.
But you really do. You're looking for someone and you're hoping, he was just here a minute ago, and they just disappear.
So those go up in
See
there,
on black shirts.
and those go down there. And these are the merman teeth that I cut up and reshaped, and then I'll mold them.
You're gonna mold into it, or you're gonna do a separate mold?
I'm gonna do a separate mold
Okay.
of this because I like the resin teeth in these guys.
Yeah.
You're making plaster. Get ready for the drum roll.
Hey, you know what? Just for that.
Oh no! Now you did it.
I'm half done and you didn't even know it. Look what I learned how to do.
Appreciate you taking all the time and energy to learn that hand.
Well, turns out I had learned it a long time ago.
I'm watching water boil.
Just applying it in a new way.
Snapper was intermittently delayed by his gap. Sorry, I can't help myself.
That was funny.
This is Bobby Keats. So good.
It is a hammerhead shark monster.
Proud of you, Drew. Thank you, Joanne. Thank you. See, someone's proud of me.
Just not your parents.
We have LED eyes.
It's possible. We did speak about that because
We'd love to make the glittery blue eyes.
having the eyes, of the shark come out of the fog. I have a good idea of how this area of the show is going to go, and it's going to involve fog and LED eyes and sharks who buzz patrons. No, they're all going to be underwater and just with fog and blue but the sharks are going to circle and then go in for the group. I think it's going to be nice.
Nice. That'll be a fun one for actor training exercise. If we get to do it.
We're definitely going to be on a tighter schedule than normal. Okay. Ooh, pledge. Okay. I'm going to fight gravity on this a little bit. As I put plaster up under here, it's going to want to fall off. So I'm just going to have to be careful. And I got to watch for air bubbles. So,
Breathy UK. I've been working on a Medusa mask. I had a right game getting the clay out of the mold where the snake hair was. I've also had some extra snakes for the hair. I'll put it on the Facebook page.
yes, I'd imagine that you did. That is, Medusa is always really tough to tackle because it's like, how do you do the snakes? Medusa is really difficult. So next week I have family in town, so there'll probably be a few less lives from me than normal. But I will sneak over here in the evenings and do a couple hours to keep things going. Plus, I started playing with the flocking gun, and I'm very excited to flock the snot out of something. And it may be the first thing I flock is a goat. It's possible. Just saying.
What type of sounds are your other creatures going to make? Do you think that will be challenging, not having talking characters, or will there be some human types thrown in?
There certainly is. One of the things that we always think about is I want there to be 3 different types of character per show. So in this show, one of the types of characters are pirates.
What's your camera?
What?
You're off camera.
I'm right here. They can see my beard bouncing. But I just don't want to move it off the mold because I'm going to get plaster here shortly. I could sit.
You said talk about your characters.
Yeah, we do a couple types of character per show, so that so all those bases are covered, and the people type characters are going to be pirates for this show. So we'll have some pirates, have some irate
Pirates. Why do you
Irate
pledge your
pirates.
clay? Apologies if you answered this already.
The pledge is a barrier in between the pledge is a barrier in between the clay and the plaster in order to help it release a little bit easier. Where would you like a pair of gloves?
Funny Geek says, I saw Medusa at Devil's Attic, and they used small foam tubes with plastic printed snake heads on the head mount. It was really cool. Their makeup guy created it.
Yes. Yeah, I've seen that way being done. That's not a bad way to do it.
Paul Bennett says if the shark's mouths were closed, you pour ceramic, then can you use it for like in an aquarium tank? It's Paul Bennett. If the shark's mouth were closed, you pour ceramic, then can you use it for in the aquarium tank?
We're going to have a plaster mold. The mold will be made of plaster. So really the only thing it's good for pouring is latex shark heads. And if you want to make something to go into aquarium tanks, there's actually special things you have to use, because a lot of the things we use will off gas. I have some Polygem Zoopoxy up there, and that you can use inside of terrariums or aquariums, because once it is finished mixing, it doesn't do any off-gassing. Silicone caulking out of a tube, that will off-gas for a while, a long time. And it's going to leach heavy metals into water, and that would be bad in an aquarium. I have not used the material in a mold, in a silicone mold, for aquariums, but I know they make it. I know it's possible.
I even tried. I used to do a lot of aquarium stuff because I actually really like fish and like to raise aquariums. But I tried making some plaster stuff and sealing it and putting it into an aquarium once. This was back when I was early 20s. It melted within a day.
Really?
Yeah, just gone completely. The plaster just absorbed everything, turned into dirt in my aquarium.
Nice.
Or the fish ate it. Kind of a combination of the two.
My dogs think it's delicious.
Said something weird.
Don't
just
worry about
brought-
that side. Don't look over there.
Okay.
Only matters over here.
It's fine.
Doesn't matter.
Okay.
You only put it on, if you put it on super thin and you force it under there.
Because then it's
Yes.
you can just break the edges off. of it
Right.
Anyway.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
Or an air pressure bubble builds up in there and doesn't let it go in.
Sure. This.
No, that side does not matter. That side does not exist because we're molding this side.
Mm-hmm.
This side will be recreated in stone.
Ready to start another bucket, or do you want to?
Oh, no. No, no, no. This is going to take a bit.
Paul Bennett said, okay, because maybe in the future I might do a sea project. Welcome to Sylvie Studios. We get plaster and flock the heck out of stuff.
Yeah.
Good job.
Plaster.
Good fluff. Still love that image.
Which one? Oh, that one? Yeah.
Really want to dynamite frame poster of that for my office.
Today says placing a finished, had an idea, placing a finished filled mask in a cylinder or a large round bowl molded, encasing it in clear resin, and pulling it out, polishing it, and setting it on a base for display. The latex will not decay.
That is true. That is true. Actually, the latex could decay if UV light hits it. Because one of the enemies of latex is heat. So, if the sun hits that clear acrylic sphere, now go to town. If the sun hits that clear acrylic sphere, then what can happen is it heats up a point of the latex. I had a friend who had one of those clear juggling balls, and he left it on his dashboard of his car. Set his whole car on fire.
Will you be using hemp on the mold
I will use burlap on the mold. Because I want to make a nice thin mold, because this sucker is going to be giant. And it sounds a bit like I'm ignoring you, but right now we're having a little bit of a concentration moment while we're trying to get this guy covered in plaster.
Do you wait to coat the undercuts so the plaster has a chance to firm up a bit?
Correct. I do wait a little while for that.
Still put a detail coat on.
Yeah, I won't go under there until it's thicker.
Really? At all?
Me, no. It'll just run off.
That's super.
I'll run it right along the wall edge.
Mm-hmm.
It's got a little chance to grab there. But up underneath, I'm going to wait a little bit until it's a pancake batter consistency. And that's why we didn't mix up a ton of plaster. Just enough to get this coat on really well. Because I would love it if we could go right from these buckets to fabric.
Nice.
When I am putting on plaster, I am not brushing it around and making it thinner. I'm just putting it on my brush. I'm letting it go off of my brush. And that is what builds up a thickness. You can just literally watch it add a 1/16 of an inch every time my brush touches it. Even though some runs away, some doesn't.
Today was thinking of a live cast of Jennifer Tilly, the giant frog is in one of the haunted mansion. Mr. Freeze mask and a resin cylinder. Jason Augustine says, I thought you were going to Vaseline the table. I must have missed that. When did you do it?
He did.
I did it probably while Rue was talking. I did
That was a
Vaseline the
good-
table.
Good long while ago. Actually, he Vaseline the table while I was pledging,
Okay.
and I shot you in the face with the pledge. That's
Right.
when you were doing the Vaseline on the table.
1980 also says, a gill man, a half-filled resin jar of disgusting. 88 people are watching.
Hello, 88 people. We're making a mold of a hammerhead shark monster. Alexa, what time is it?
It's 10:27 p.m.
So yeah, we'll mold half of the shark tonight, and I'll mold the other half tomorrow. I always mold the back first so that I can lay it down. And then once I lay it down, I'm able to, I don't have to fight gravity. Right now we're fighting gravity on this side of the shark because everything we put up under here is just wants to run off or fall off. And I'm just working my way down the head here, getting it thicker and thicker. Rue, why don't we switch sides?
Yeah.
And you're probably good to start going up underneath. Mix up your bucket really good. Then you're good to start going underneath. We gotta think
Still
of this whole-
real thin on mine. this one's thicker.
Bella, Bella, wake up, Bella. You're home. You're safe. You don't have to have nightmares.
Are you using,
Just one dab. You're dabbing too much.
are you using
Look,
Cal
see this?
Okay.
That's it. Just one. If you hit it more than once, you're moving it around too much.
Are you using Cal 30?
Yes, this is Ultra Cal 30. Like this was thicker and now it's thinner. You will get a feeling for the plaster and how fast you have to move it from the bucket to the piece without, doing a bunch of grips on the way, with what you can do with the plaster at its current thickness. Because you mix it and it starts a little thicker than milk. And then it goes into a buttermilk phase, then it goes into a pancake batter phase, and eventually it gets into like a peanut butter phase, or peanut butter microwave for 30 seconds. That's a good phase.
Yep. But it's very short.
Yeah. Yes, and the thicker the phase, the less time it'll last. Because it's crystallizing. You don't have to push hard, just touch, and then leave. You don't have to like wring out your brush. You don't have to do it. It'll come off, I swear. What's that?
Better stop it.
Quit it.
Quit it.
My body needs.
The just dabbing it on is the way. This is the way. You don't want to do more than that. Because it will thin out the plaster. You're putting less on at that point. And the whole point of this is to build up the layers and get it thicker. Use the side of your brush. Don't use the end of your brush. Look.
I have a terrible brush for this too.
Why do you have a terrible brush?
I picked a terrible.
Is it a new brush?
No.
Use a new brush. Throw that brush away. Don't use that brush. You're gonna ruin the mold. These brushes are so cheap. Why would you risk a mold for a 30-cent brush?
Really? 30 cents?
Tops.
That's awesome. That's good. Gregory names. I heard Mandalorian talk. This is the way.
This is the way.
Alsto's Electronic Workshop. Good night, everyone. I'm going to go put a little time in my shop before bed. Thanks, Alan, for sharing.
Night, Steve. Thank you.
Night.
Get those
Harbor Freight has them. A box of 36 will go on sale as low as $4.99. Amazon also has a good deal on 1-inch chip brushes for 100 of them. And I buy that every now and then too. Alexa, count down 5 minutes.
Starting to
5 minutes, starting now.
Don't use the end of your brush, use the side of your brush. Don't stab, dab. Don't stab, dab.
Don't stab, dab. You know, people could mistake that too. So,
I love Ultra Cal 30. I usually use this as well, but recently I've been using USG Pottery Plaster #1. I'm watching it in these videos. I like them both. Have you ever used that? And if so, do you like it?
I have 2 bags of it over there. I haven't used it in a couple years, meaning 20 or so. So I'm going to play with it and do some experiments with it. I'm actually going to, look at the times and how long it takes to wick latex. I'm going to do Hydrocal, Ultracal, and US #1 pottery plaster, and I'm going to do strength tests so that I have that information. I'm going to make silicone molds and then just let it pour up. And I'll do plaster with burlap and plaster without burlap in each 3 kinds and see what the strength difference is.
1980 says that you can get a pack of these brushes also at the dollar store.
I was not aware of that.
Thanks, Gregory. I'll try and be a little louder. I'm not talking that much right now because the boys are very intense. So I'm picking the comments carefully because I don't want to distract, as they are right now in a chemically committed situation.
Alexa, how much time is left on my timer?
You have 3 minutes left on your 5-minute timer.
But thanks. I will try and be louder.
I am letting my plaster thicken up a little bit so I can get the up underside of that shark head. It is difficult to get up under these 2 sides of the shark. So that's why we're molding the back of it first. Then we will be able to lay it down on its back, and the front will be a lot easier.
yeah, I'm gonna slow down. Otherwise, enough.
Rube, repeat what you just said.
Said I'm gonna slow down here. Otherwise, we're not gonna have enough to throw up underneath. If
Right.
I keep just
So-
stopping it on the table.
He could keep messing with it and putting it on, but then he wouldn't have enough to do up under there. So he's slowing down, which is the way you want to do it. Awareness is huge in mold making.
Good night, Paul Bennett.
Yours definitely hit that phase before mine.
Which phase?
That's starting to get there phase.
And yours is soupy.
Yeah, super super.
If you recall, we've already swapped buckets once,
Mm-hmm.
so that you could have the thicker stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Why is
I
that?
think it's maybe because I keep stirring as I'm going. I stir more than you. think that could be it? Oh yeah, definitely.
And you're keeping it loose, you're keeping it live when you stir.
Yep. Yep. Now she's going.
Now that it's a little thicker, it can stand a little more moving around. But if you move it around too much, you're still just going to, Alexa, stop. If you move it around too much, you're still just going to make it thinner instead of building up a thickness. A little bit of a bucket of water in there if you got to rinse off your hands or any brushes or anything.
It's gonna get real.
Mine is exactly where I want it. I wanted it to get thicker so I could just put it up here by hand. Yeah. That's why I left it alone. I walked away. Let me show you a technique.
Okay.
I put a good bit on the fingers of this hand, and then I use the fingers of this hand, and I'm keeping constant pressure on it. See how easy that filled in?
Yep.
Think about how you're going to get it off of your hand when you put it in your hand.
Gotcha. Yeah.
See that?
Listen to this man, he's smart.
If I didn't know what I was doing after doing 2,000 of these, there'd be a problem. I've just done it a lot. Because all the time, people put it in their hand and they try and stick it up there, and then it sticks to their hand as much as it sticks to it, and then it falls right back in their hand. And that will create an air bubble if you're not careful. But now it's nice. I've got a good thickness on this. It's almost like Play-Doh right now. See that consistency? Very solid. But it's still a liquid. It's a non-Newtonian fluid.
Would icing piping bag be effective to apply in undercuts?
I think a hand is better. You just have to know what you're doing with your hand. If you shape your hand the right way, you just have more options. Because yeah, you can get to come out the top of a piping bag, but it's going to be better if you can feel it and have more control. And I'm putting more on the little finlet that I did on the back of his head. Along with the brush.
That brush is dead. Dead.
Oh, you have the yellow scraper too.
Alan will be regretting the fin when he goes to mold the front.
No, because I'm just going to wrap it in burlap soaked plaster. When I put it on there, I was thinking about molding the front half of the mold. I'm like, how am I going to do it?
You better make the clay donut now to rest the mold on.
Well, I don't know what shape to make it yet. And if I make it now, it'll be hard by the time I do it. But yeah, that'll be part of it. we're clean. Right now is the time for me to clean off this around here. Right now is when I want to work on my edge. Clean up this mold wall right now. Right now. Don't want to wait till tomorrow. Right now. Put it on. Take this magic moment. Do it once. So, Rue, when you were getting your makeup done, were you aware of any, did you notice a heightened awareness of hygiene and sanitation?
Yes.
Okay. Did that heightened emphasis on hygiene and sanitation make you uncomfortable in any way?
No. That's the way it should be right now. I mean, unfortunately, in that situation, you know, it's you have to be able to take some risks because we couldn't wear masks, you know, while we're having the makeup on
Yes.
around each other. So you kind of gotta, you know, make sure the people that are there doing that are not in any way feeling ill.
Oh,
before,
absolutely, yeah.
Way before you ever put them in that situation.
Well, we'll be taking everybody's temperature of staff on their way in.
Yeah. Good plan.
What time do you guys normally start? Because I'm not getting my notifications lately, and I'm missing the first hour to hour and a half.
I tried to start around 7 o'clock. Tonight I didn't start till about 8:15, but I didn't get home until later.
Because you brought someone on.
Yes. Now tomorrow I will be live starting like 11:30 a.m. Yeah, tomorrow is going to be a plaster palooza as we finish up some of these molding projects. You would start mixing plaster here. I will cut the burlap.
Tom Bassar says, hey, wasn't Rue a zombie like minutes ago? The magic.
I got that up. I'll go pet them. Better be into it.
Is that tall gray thing near the sink a fan?
Yes, it is. It is an air conditioner fan. I had 2 of those the first year I was here at the shop, and no actual air conditioners. And they helped, but you kind of had to put them up in your business for them to do a lot of good.
Fun principal on employees, oh no, the temperature gun broke, guess it's old school, where's the rectal thermometer? You get one guess who that is.
How is 1980?
He's doing great.
Good.
He's doing great. Good night, Scott Goldhart.
I don't think that would, some of our staff, I don't think they'd bat an eye. Like, okay, let's go this little room.
Bat an eye or get a twinkle in their eye.
Yeah.
Some of our
Yeah,
staff.
that might be up their alley.
You guys are 2 to 3 hours
How is
ahead
it?
of California. That is correct, Pinshot.
Yes.
We are central.
We're the same time zone as Chicago?
Yes.
Oh, is that what it is? He wouldn't be ashamed to hear it.
Pinshot. We are 2 hours ahead. Right now, it is 10 minutes till 11 in Texas.
Terrible idea.
That's Rue's toy.
Yeah.
That's not yours.
Sit in my shop on a table.
That's Rue's. Did you get a pass?
No, he approved.
Isn't there some kind of honor code?
Psha!
In some of the guys' store, like,
Such a man's sword.
yeah. It's like an honor code.
That's a saw.
That's not a sword, it's a saw. You'd make an awesome sword, but whoa. Not the thing you want to get hit by.
This is the best tool for this job, it appears.
1980 said Rue wanted to tap the cup, but he stopped himself.
Yeah.
Has anyone commented on your bucket buddy in the background?
No, no one has.
That's funny.
Bucket Buddy is intently watching.
You're gonna have to take that trick or treat mask off of it when you're putting the list and stuff. I see.
Yeah, you can go with it.
That's your mask.
Well, I needed something to use it for.
Well, it looks great.
Turns out I was using it for a bucket buddy. I will work on saving this clay that we did not use on the mold wall, because I have mold walls to make tomorrow.
Thomas R. Al and I enjoyed watching your makeup session. You're truly a talented man. You are surrounded by talented people.
You know what? I really am, and I'm thankful for that every day.
1980 says that's a bucket buddy in the back.
Yes, that's a bucket buddy. That's the bucket buddy that I made for the vidya.
For the YouTubes.
Right, the YouTubes. So I have two very different style of video that I do on my channel. We have the videos that you'll see with the green border. Those are YouTube Wednesday videos. They come out every Wednesday, normally at midnight. And that is a how-to on how to do something. Normally it's haunted house related. Sometimes it's general art skill related. And then there's the lives, which are mostly mask related, but not always, because we have a lot of stuff to do.
Roger says, definitely gonna have one of those bucket buddies in my yard this Halloween.
You know what? This is the simplest, easiest thing.
Yep.
This is, it is so simple, people are mad at me.
See, I don't decorate my yard other than like a couple of like spider webs and maybe
A
a
pumpkin.
little bit of some pumpkins, lots of pumpkins. I always do fake pumpkins, and I do, each family member does a fake pumpkin.
Right.
So the collection is growing.
Yeah.
So- which I really like the fake pumpkins because I like to keep them,
Yeah.
People are mad that this is so easy.
Yes. Yes.
Well,
They're mad that they didn't think of it.
I like that they're resourceful. You're using something that you're
Oh yeah, literally that was garbage in the back of the shop. Alexa, countdown, 2 minutes.
2 minutes, starting now.
New gloves.
Did you bring me a pair, sir?
Sure.
Thank you. Okay.
Who is this?
He is. All right. So that whole scene of Masters of the Universe is from what they call the Ultimate Battleground. So there's characters in here that were not in the classic toy line. There's Goat Man is up there with the big hammer.
Yeah, that's the other one. I was looking
That's
at.
Goat Man. And then this guy, whose name I don't know, and this guy, whose name I don't know.
No, that's Lasher.
That's just Tongue Lasher.
Yeah, tongue lasher.
Okay, gotcha. Oh yeah, he was the Blue Snake Man.
Yep. Or purple,
Yeah.
depending on which one you got.
I had the purple one. And then the lizard guy.
Yeah.
He's from the cartoon. He was in several episodes of the cartoon, but not. He did not have a toy until the He-Man Classics line. I probably know entirely too much about toys for being an adult male.
90 days.
Alexa, stop.
I was thinking of using a half bucket as a torso for my main pillow project. Newman Brown said a couple of weeks ago you were going to do an updated graveyard statue video. Approximately when can we expect that? Sorry, I just really like yard props.
Maybe 2 weeks.
I definitely have to finish the video. I started it, but then I had to go to work since it all broke. Joanne Crowley says, I always like how Alan repurposes things.
Useful, useful.
Right, Tom Sawyer. 1980 says a half, 5 or 7 gallon bucket would be the right dimensions.
Yeah, about right.
Yeah, I really don't usually do much with my yard, but I think this year I'm gonna actually do one of my gargoyles for the yard, and I'll do a couple of bucket patches, and I'll make it really good and even. I actually have an idea for it this year, you know?
Yeah. I'm gonna quickly just get a layer of wet plaster on my side, which will help the fabric stick. And I'm gonna give it to you to do your side. If there's any bubbles over here, I'm calling it your fault.
For sure. You didn't start on that Sunday. Puppies.
Okay. There you go. Could you pour me some in here? Please, sir, can I have some more?
I can't wait to see your gargoyle in THC. That's from Rod and
Ah.
Are you bringing one?
Well, I think I'm gonna do two.
Cool.
Michelle Schulte might have missed this, but Rue, did you have a website to sell your things?
I do not. I've been discussing doing one, and haven't quite gotten there yet.
Gregory Haynes.
Do you ever see me post anything on Facebook and you're interested in it? Send me a message.
Unless it's like a picture of his child,
Well,
in which case, don't.
Rue. My goodness. Gregory Haynes says, I'm very into gargoyles. Where can they be seen online? I think he doesn't have a website.
I don't have a website yet. Mine are very demon gargoyle kind of. They're fun. I'll see if I can find some pictures of them, and maybe I'll post them on the Still Beast chat site.
Trying to leave that open so you get plaster in there.
Kind of big cut there. Yeah, let's lap on it. That's what it wants to say.
this point, I'm a little less worried about air bubbles because everything next to the sculpture is covered. Now I'm mostly worried about getting at least 2 layers of fabric and burlap onto the piece. And I'm chasing all the little holes in the burlap to make sure that they're full of plaster.
Michelle says, don't have you on Facebook, but maybe you'll put them on the Creepers page.
I will.
Strangely enough, I live right off of the busy highway where buckets seem to find their way to the center median pretty regularly. Harry Beastie says, I gotta get some sleep. Good night, everybody. Good night.
Good night, Harry Beastie.
Y'all gonna finish that mold tonight?
No, we're just doing the back half of it.
Hello, Ethan
Put it
Bendara.
on and just smooth it out.
Oh, I was just gonna crush your hand.
You do it. I'm gonna pick up a little bit of this to patch this area, so don't cover it up.
You may go up underneath it, kind of.
I'm just gonna pick it up this much. That way you have plaster to use and I can use this.
Good night, Rodney Poe.
Good night, Rodney. Always leave the lid on your plaster or else moisture from the air will get to it and make it kick faster next time you go to mix it up. Okay, Drew, take a look at this side here. You want to watch that. A lot of little air bubbles right there.
Now we got these big fingerprints in this one. Get some split from there.
Mike's Haunted Woodworks.
What's up, man?
Says dog swabber gets in here too. Headshot. With all the videos I've watched, I don't think I have seen one thumbs down. That should say how good your videos are.
I get thumbs downs. Normally I get at least 1 or 2 every video. I don't, and sometimes I get a thumbs down before someone has had time to watch the video. It happens. We do try to make good content.
I shouldn't have smushed that yet.
Yeah.
That was too soon. Too soon.
And also, use smaller pieces, because the more folds, the more you're going to fight air bubbles in different areas. Do one right here to get up underneath that fin.
Headshot says, so far, I have loved every one that I have watched.
Well, thank you. Do you make things?
Lieutenant Brown, I'm thankful you have this channel. Pretty stressful job at Apple, and this is a really enjoyable escape for me.
Awesome. I'm glad to hear it. Thank you so much. Do you prefer the lives or the edited videos?
Mike's Haunted Woodworks. Is that the front or the back? I'm late. I've been busy at work tonight.
This is the back. This is the back of the. This is the back of the hammerhead shark mold.
We're at 11 o'clock.
And does up here have one layer of fabric or two?
2 here, haven't gotten over to this.
Okay, yeah, so do another one over there. And I'll actually start another batch.
Get the little thing.
Lieutenant Brown says, I like a buzz, but I prefer to live. You try to answer every question. The educational part helps so much.
I do try to answer every question.
You can have a Sharknado in your aunt.
You could?
You could. You're thinking, aren't you?
There wasn't gears right there or anything.
Nothing good comes out of moments when Rue's wheels start turning a little bit. Oh Lord, what's gonna happen now?
Evil gears.
Oh my goodness, something's coming. Right now. Mike's Haunted Woodworks. You see upside down dog feet. You know what to do. Don't have anything, Mike. Pin shot. Trying to get into that's why I have been asking when you're going to do your tool sets and headpieces up on the website. Pin shot who wants to buy those for Wednesday.
Really soon. Like, you'll probably see head forms up next week. And tool sets will be a little after that, maybe the week after that.
Good night, Gregory Haynes.
Good night, Gregory Haynes.
Good night, Gregory Haynes. Echo, echo, echo.
71 people are watching. Pretzelbot says hello. How's it going?
Hey, Pretzelbot. Did I just see you in an almost finished Sentinel armor? If I remember that correctly and I saw you on Instagram, that's looking awesome.
He said yes.
Yeah, that's looking really good. I follow Pretzelbot on Instagram. I started kind of when I realized I wanted to get better at EVA foam. I've been playing with it for a while. Really good EVA foam stuff.
Hello from the UK, David Carter.
Hello, David.
Hello, UK.
Is chili?
I have done
Okay.
some ethics stuff before, like making casting body parts and worked for a company called Body Tech in California. That is a picture. Pretzelbot says, thanks, putting some sound modules in the arms so we can have some cool sound effects.
Nice. Alexa, countdown, 2 minutes.
2 minutes, starting now.
What you doing?
Me or Ruth?
Just slopping in that piece of burlap I just put in was kind of dry. So put some wetter stuff onto it, mixing it in.
My plaster is setting for a little bit, letting the water soak in and wet all that powder up. And that way, when I go to mix it, there's no lumps.
Something that put too much of something.
Were you coveting Ruth's water?
Yes, yes, it was just like, oof. So thirsty. Today's been a full day all around, hasn't it?
Escape.
Full day.
Training.
I've enjoyed making molds, but I had never done sculpting before, so it's something new, and I believe fun, says Pinshot.
Sculpting is one of my favorite parts of the process. There's 2 times when I'll get excited. When I'm sculpting something new and I'm really trying to make all the forms work and make sense. And then when I'm painting and I'm at that finishing stage, where everything I do gets it closer to done and I can call it finished and step away. Alexa, stop.
Here.
Try to use left.
This is why I questioned buying expensive dog food for a dog that would willingly sit there and eat clay,
Or rocks.
or rocks, or toads. Why?
I 100% watch Bella catch a toad, give it 3 chomps, and swallow it down.
Oh my God. Oh, why didn't you tell me that? Ooh. Pinshot says, I would make a great partner. I loved making the molds.
I like making molds, but as far as like the parts, I like it because I can look at this and I can make it work. And this is actually a pretty simple shape, but it's, it intimidated a lot of folks who were talking about it simply because it's not a regularly shaped head.
Do you have cane toads there? Those are poisonous to dogs.
No, we don't. We may. And that's also why I got 3 dogs.
What? Why did you bring up?
If I lose a dog, I still have 2 dogs. When I thought of that strategy, I didn't realize how poor decisions my dogs were going to make.
Well, that's a puppy for you. We're gonna get through this puppy phase. We got him housebroken. That was huge. 1980, billion-dollar idea that could benefit a lot of soldiers. Every soldier should have a full 3D body scan themselves. Scans stored in case of traumatic injuries to their body. Get on it, 1980.
But then, how does the scan help the traumatic injury?
It says, imagine prosthetics made as a perfect replica of a lost leg.
Well, okay, you'd have that, but then you still have to match it up to the stump that they've got.
I'd only want it if it came with my tattoos.
Well, Rue, you're so
And actually, you know what?
Is there a chance to get
This,
a new
this is
tattoo?
going to sound extremely morbid, but during, my deployments, I spent a lot of time sitting in guard towers. A lot. I was infantry. My first deployment, we would do 8-hour shifts with a 4-hour break in between, and going back out to an 8-hour shift. Lots of fun. But during this time, you have a lot of time to sit and think. And, you know, you're sitting in a guard tower, so you start to think about, well, what would happen if I lost this limb, or that limb, or whatever. I had so many plans for really fun prosthetics. Like,
Okay, so you no longer have the right to think it's weird that I imagine everybody dying in my van when I'm driving, okay? When I am driving on road trips, when I'm driving on long road trips, often I'm the one driving, and there's a lot of people in the van with me who, you know, we're all going to do a show, and I'm, at that point in time, I'm responsible for their lives. So if I start getting tired or sleepy, I imagine an accident. What happens? Like specifics. You know, the tire jack in the back. If the van rolls, does it bounce around the inside of the van, hitting people in the face? Does one person's body trap another person when the van rolls, and that means the leg kind of stays there and the rest of them moves? That would hurt. But imagining all those terrible things happening to my very good friends, and that all I have to do to prevent it is stay awake, keeps me awake.
did I ever tell you about the absolute worst possible way anybody ever taught me to stay awake was?
Yeah. Put dip in your eye.
Yep. Yep.
You told it to me when we were trying to stay awake driving back from California. No, to California.
Yep.
That was a long trip.
That was a brutal drive.
It was a brutal, brutal drive.
Like
Which
it was 32
it's not-
hours.
And it's not that it was 32 hours, you know, just that it was a 32-hour drive and we were going straight through and alternating drivers to do it. It was that seat for the passenger in the Penske truck,
Terrible.
Corey Pete blood.
That's the truck that me and Brent drove home, by the way.
Yeah.
1980. The soldier needed a reconstruction to save the left side of his face. The skin could be used to build implants that replace lost bones, etc. Pinshot said, "It works for you, then it's not a bad thing." Mike's father works. If people ever ask me, what if I wrecked my motorcycle, what will I do? I say the best case scenario is I would lose my leg and complete my pirate costume.
You came late.
Yeah,
We had this
yeah.
conversation earlier.
That's how we started our conversation tonight.
Oh my goodness. Let's go full circle, didn't we?
Yep. We've gone full circle. Scraping dust.
Okay. I have enough here to get 2 coats over this whole thing, and then I'll be able to thicken up the sides of the mold with what's in my bucket.
Was there a grindhouse style movie where the leg was a gun?
Planet Terror.
Yes.
Oh, I had that
And
idea.
it was like Rose McGowan, wasn't it?
Yeah. Yep. Rose McGowan.
Wow, how did I know that?
Leg guns are cool.
Was Kurt Russell in that too?
He was in Death Proof.
Okay.
It was the double feature of Planet Terror.
I did not see that
Mike
movie.
says, my peg leg must have a trap door to hold a bottle of rum.
I have seen that before a lot. So I had a buddy that had one leg that was a roommate of mine, and he was the best guy ever to take to go to concerts with, because he was like from the hip down, no leg. Well, turns out you can fit an entire fifth in somebody's thigh.
Okay.
So yeah, he would keep an entire bottle in his leg.
I don't know if I would drink Jimmy's thigh whiskey. I don't think I would do that. Like I would search for other beverage alternatives.
Have you ever bought a beer at a concert?
No.
I wouldn't figure you had. Like, I think the last beer I bought at a concert cost me $15 for one beer.
Really?
Yeah.
You must really like beer.
It
You want to
was on
see-
my birthday.
If you want to see armored stuffs, check out Machine Gun Girl. It has swords.
Okay, sword fighting. I'll watch that.
How long will you let this side set up?
Well, I'm not going to do the other side tonight, so I'm going to let it set up for a good 12 hours.
Tango and Cash had shotgun boots.
What movie is it? Is it Ultraviolet? That has the girl that's
Yeah, Flux?
got, is it Ian Flux?
That girl actually has those prosthetics. She walks on the swords. She's actually a paraplegic.
I've seen her.
Yes. And she actually has those swords that
She has a set of stilts that she does, quadruped stilts.
Mhm.
They're all Queen Anne table legs.
Yeah.
And people all the time like post that as a reference for something. It's like, okay, you have hands and feet. We cannot do that for you.
But that's a total one-off costume.
Yeah.
Crunchy, crunch, crunch, crunch. Mmm, plaster.
And I have a couple pieces left of burlap in here. I'm going to use it to strengthen this fin area, my finnal region. Cheney, go on. Go on.
Said Kingsman has sword legs and the sequel should be out soon.
Really?
Isn't it like a prequel though, the new one?
It's a threequel. So it's the third one.
Yeah.
I haven't seen the second one yet. I want to. I enjoy the movies. I enjoyed The Kingsman. Kind of like that church scene.
Kind of. Oh, wow. Talk about political. So there's anything wrong with that.
So yeah, now you're going to clean that edge. Very good.
66 people are watching.
Okay.
You wouldn't take it.
And we don't want to slap that onto the mold because it's contaminated with Vaseline. What he's scraping up off the table is full of Vaseline because I Vaselined the table.
Already blocked the camera.
I'm thickening up this last little bit so I can use it to thicken the walls.
I've noticed that you buy rolled burlap. We used to get burlap sacks and cut those. And I
lot cheap to buy.
Yes, but cutting them up is more work. So if you balance what you're paying for the burlap with what you are, having to do time-wise, I think it evens out.
Will you need a support ridge down the back center of this one?
I'm going to have so much material on that fin, I don't think so. Because that fin kind of is a support ridge. And right now I'm making sure that this wall all the way around, I'm making sure the clay wall is thick enough. I don't want it to ramp up towards the edge. I want it to be a pretty solid wall there. The easiest way to do that is to get some on your hand and then use that wall to scrape it off.
When you pour in latex and then dump out, do you think you'll need an extra hand with that?
No,
That's right.
we have a lot of big molds.
Drew, you're blocking the camera though.
Sorry.
You could move the camera. It's movable. You can move it.
To do the thing with the thing and whatchamacallit. Whatcha-hoopluana?
Police my burlap strings here and keep them off the wall.
You get plaster and latex on clothes, is it safe for the washer and dryer?
Yes, but it won't come out. Yeah, it's safe to wash and dry. It's really locked in there.
Plaster might. Plaster might. Depends on what stage it gets into your clothes. If it's like that really thin, runny stuff, sometimes you can go a little bit.
But like, if you get chunks of plaster on your clothes, they fleck off before washing.
Sometimes.
Let's just say that I watch out for them. Got a really nice washer and dryer, I watch out.
I gotta take a look at it, Rue.
Yep.
No.
Best way to get latex or plaster out of clothes is a bonfire.
Yes,
Yep.
that is true.
Comes right out then. Yeah. Yeah, I was saying though, yeah. You can get the real fine plaster to break up and mostly get it out of the clothes. Kind of. Latex? Yeah. It's there forever.
You can actually
Don't
soak
pick
it.
on it
You
forever.
can soak it in D-limonene, and that will actually remove it.
What's wrong?
It's a chemical made from oranges. If you get that out of there as best you can.
Do you want it for use?
Yeah, I want a chunk of it.
Faster.
Okay, I feel pretty good about this. I think it's a solid half of the mold. It's dead.
Dead.
Yep, can't use that plaster in there. Had probably a cup and a half or so of plaster dye in the bucket. Remember, I speed kicked it by adding more plaster, which is what allowed me to do this big buildup on these guys.
This is one of those moments too, where I can sit and dig at this, or I can let it dry completely and bust it out one.
Way easier later.
Yeah.
All right, so that is half a shark molded, guys. We'll mold the other half of the shark. Would you hit him with another coat of pledge?
Yep.
And we're going to get this bagged.
My wife makes me take all my clothes off outside. She gets mental if I get plaster in it.
Well, I have a very patient and tolerant wife. In our last house, the garage was the workshop. So during molding season, when I was molding a lot of things, there would just be a little plaster trail of plaster footprints from the garage into the kitchen, and it was terrible, but she didn't kill me. And I got to sleep inside the whole time.
So you said you're going to be on early tomorrow morning?
About 11:30 a.m. my time.
80 pounds of clay and plaster later. Yes.
Yeah, that's a very heavy sculpture.
From this angle, it looks like a doggy.
Yes, well, yeah, I flattened off where this fin is in order to, when it's laying on its back, the pressure will be a little bit more even. Yeah. Tomorrow I might run some more support struts back here. We'll see.
You were at 11:30.
I think it's fine. But for tonight, that is certainly enough. Everybody, thank you for watching and hanging out with us. Say goodnight, Rue.
Good night, Rube.
Say goodnight, wife.
Night.
And go make stuff.